in a way, Luxembourg is filled with all those kind of Byzantine projects. And I think one of the biggest ones is the supposedly free public transport, which of course runs on volunteers. There are no paid drivers,
Exactly.
yeah, free trams, free buses we get, but grow on trees. So this is how we can do it. Is Luxembourg in a way making other countries follow stupid ideas like this because they seem to work in here?
Well, that's it. I mean, they really loved getting the headlines on that. And they really loved, oh, we're the first country that makes public transport free and so on and so on. I mean, to be fair, the ticket sales and public transport made up about 1/3 of the running costs of the public transport system. So it wasn't that big of a leap. I mean, if anything, the conclusion should have been to make public transport more expensive. I mean, so if you take the tram in Amsterdam, I think it's a really cool system because I mean, it's still deficitary, but not quite as much as it was in Luxembourg. But you beep in with your card and you beep out, so you only pay for what you used. That kind of a system makes a lot more sense, and it's also adjusted to sort of the overall pricing conditions, the overall inflation level. Malta has actually become since the second country to make public transport free. But for those people who are interested, you can read up on the buses in Malta. The buses in Malta are so dangerous that even the guy in charge of running them wouldn't send his own son on a bus trip in Malta because they're just so in disrepair. And I think even though that won't happen in Luxembourg because we will spend too much money on everything, just because you made it free doesn't mean it serves people in the way it's supposed to. If anything, your bus driver, if now he's 15 minutes late and you get in, it's like, hey, you're late. He'll be like, well, it's not like you paid something for it, right? You didn't get a ticket. So you don't have that customer and service relationship. Because if people pay for something, they have an expectation. They try to, for that expectation to be met. But for most people who are employees, for who income tax is deducted before they just receive a net salary, they don't even know how much taxes either they pay or the employer paid to hire them. So they don't have that relationship with those services. And as a result of that, I expect that those services will get a lot worse in Luxembourg because now, so what? I mean, it's already paid for, we already, the money came from somewhere, so whatever. And that goal of getting people to switch to public transport, making that more efficient, it's just not there. And I'm not a huge car geek. In Luxembourg, you kind of need a car because the public transport system just isn't where it is. If you're trying to go out at night, the taxis cost a fortune because it's run by one big monopoly. If anything, like there is a real need here. You would make the country so much better if the public transport system, if Luxembourg City had a metro system, for instance, I think that would really help. Bonn has a metro system. Why shouldn't Luxembourg, right? So there's all these infrastructure needs, but instead they do these cosmetic changes on how much the ticket is or that the ticket doesn't exist anymore. It's like that doesn't solve anything. You just moved money from A to B. Like that doesn't create anything. There's no creation there. There's no support for people there in any sense.